Good evening and thank you for joining us here at GBS News 9. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenge. Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. To begin our bulletin, in a bid to address mounting financial pressures on higher education institutions, the Kenyan government has introduced a revolutionary funding model. Announced by President William Ruto on the 3rd of May 2023, the new student-centered funding model aims to better allocate resources and ensure equitable access to quality education. The higher education sector in Kenya has been struggling with the rising costs due to an increase in student enrollment. Traditional funding models like the different unit cost allocate funds directly to institutions based on average costs, often leading to disparities and inadequate support per student. The new student-centered funding model shifts focus to direct financial aid for students determined by means testing instrument. This tool assesses a student's financial need using various socio-economic indicators including income, location, and special circumstances. By moving away block funding, this model aims to provide more equitable and transparent financial support. Key to this transition is the collaboration of several agencies: the Kenyan Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service for placement, the Universities Fund for Scholarship, Higher Education Loans Board for loans, and the State Department of Technical and Vocational Education and Training Authority for scholarship. This collaborative approach ensures a comprehensive and streamlined implementation. The model also addresses past inconsistencies by aligning tuition fees with actual program cost. This change aims to provide a clearer fee structure and more equitable funding distribution across programs, particularly benefiting high-cost fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The introduction of the student-centered funding model represents a significant overhaul of the Kenyan higher education financing. By targeting aid directly to students based on their needs and ensuring funding aligns with actual program costs, the government hopes to enhance additional access to quality as Kenya embarks on this new funding era. The focus remains on supporting every student's educational journey effectively and fairly.
I am also persuaded that we need a funding model that is not focused on the university, but focused on the student. A funding model that will not leave any child in Kenya behind. A funding model that recognizes that there are children from vulnerable families. I don't think it is correct for all of us to assume that we are all the same and that students from vulnerable families don't need affirmative action. They do. And that is why, in this new model, we are increasing scholarship and loan for students from vulnerable families from 80% to 95%. I am persuaded that it is the right thing to do. And so, as it was difficult before, so it is now, but the right decisions need to be made anyway. We will celebrate them further down the road.
Kenya's politics is full of fun, comics, and satire, and today we have a package of the political fun moments that transpired within the week. The head of state, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Raila Odinga, Oscar Sudi, among others, are part of the players in this. Davis Karani brings us insights within the political arena.
Mnajua yule mzee wa maandamano ameamuka tena.
Jamaa anaweka pale membamba kama sindano. Lakini baada ya miezi 3-4 hivi amefura kama kupe.
Hakuna haja ya kuita mtu mmoja Zakayo. Kila mtu akuje tukue Zakayo sisi wote hapa ndani.
Huyu Rono wakati alikuwa na pesa mingi alikuwa anaitwa Kamlesh Patni. Wakati pesa inapungua anaitwa Maestro. Wakati hana kabisa anaitwa Rono. So sijui saa hii anaitwa Rono ama anaitwa Maestro ama anaitwa Kamlesh.
Lakini wewe si Barati, hii wa Kisii ulikosa hapa ukaenda mpaka China. Ama aongeze Kisii wakaenda mchina. Aongeze ngapi? Watu ya kuongezwa wakaenda mchina wako.
It is called the political satire.
Watu wa Kirinyaga mnakubali? Tuunganishe kila mtu. Kila mtu akuje hapa. Tulipe ushuru pamoja. Tufanye maendeleo pamoja. Tulipe madeni pamoja. Wale wanakubali na mimi jameni nione kwa watu. Ndio. Unajua hawa watu waliniita ati mimi Zakayo. Sasa mimi nauliza nyinyi, kwani hii pesa inaokotwa ya Kenya inaenda kwa akaunti ya Ruto? Si inaenda treasury? Treasury si huko ndio sisi wote mambo yetu inaelekea huko. Sasa hakuna haja ya kuita mtu mmoja Zakayo. Kila mtu akuje tukue Zakayo sisi wote hapa ndani.
Whenever they speak, they don't mean what they say, but instead they say what we want to hear, and Odinga opens the list.
Uhuru ndiye alinipiga mimi simu. Uhuru akaniambia mimi tafuta Bwana Ruto ongea na yeye. Kenya ikichomeka hatakuwa na nchi nyingine. Mpaka hii tuzime hii moto, watu waketi chini waendelee waliwane. William ndiye akanitafuta. Na mimi nikaongea na yeye wazi kabisa. Mimi unajua mambo yangu, mimi sifichagi mambo.
But initially, before this statement, Odinga had packaged himself against having any dialogue with the government.
Mwaka jana waliua watu wetu vijana 75. 75 sio? Mwaka hii wameua sasa karibu zaidi ya 100. Watu kama hawa mikono yao imejaa damu. Mikono yao imejaa damu. Hatuwezi kuongea na hawa watu. Hayo mimi nasema no dialogue. No dialogue. No dialogue.
And to ignore an ignorable Odinga,
Yule mzee maandamano ameamuka tena. Ameanza fujo. Na saa hii viongozi wetu wa kanisa tunawapenda. Wanatusukuma atutukue na mazungumzo na yeye, na tumesema haiwezekani. Ama mnataka tusungumze na yeye? Sisi hatuwezi zungumza na mhalifu. Huyu mtu hakuna maandamano alikuwa amepanga kuharibu mali ya wananchi, kuchoma maduka, kuiba vitu ya watu. Huyu ni mhalifu. Na hatuwezi hata tukisukumwa na viongozi wetu wa dini kukaa chini na mhalifu. Na huyu mhalifu ati anataka tukae chini ati tumwawie serikali nusu. Sijui kama mnakubali hiyo. Yeye unajua amezoea hiyo maneno ya kuuzia watu uoga. Aliuzia Moi uoga 1997. Akaletwa ndani ya serikali ya KANU, akapatiwa waziri. Jogoo ikameza tractor ikazama.
but after the changes in the government, Gachagua harmonizes the tone and submits.
Hakuna shida. Kuna shida. Kwa sababu hata hii maminister wameteuliwa. Sisi hatuna shida. Kwa sababu sisi katika eneo hili bado poteza chochote. Rebecca Miano amerudishiwa yake. Murang'a tumepata. Kirinyaga tumepata. Kiambu tumepata. Embu tumepata. Meru tumepata. Nakuru tumepata. Kuna shida. Wale Tharaka Nithi tumepata. Sasa hao wengine wakuja tufanye kazi. Kwa sababu mimi kama deputy president, kazi yangu ni kumsaidia rais na kuwa mwaminifu kwake na kumheshimu. Ili ameamua mimi nafuata kwa sababu mimi ni msaidizi wake.
But as they say, politics is not a serious game, but a dirty one full of fun.
Nikamwambia wewe si Barati hapana cheza na mimi. Mimi bibi yangu ni pastor. Naye si Barati akaniambia mimi bibi yangu ni mchina. Sasa tukaheshimiana. Mngetaka tutengeneze urafiki na huyu si Barati. Tukua tukija hapa kutembea. Lakini wewe si Barati, hii wa Kisii ulikosa hapa ukaenda mpaka China.
And Oscar Sudi, where are you? Are you Raila's boy or Ruto's mouthpiece? Clarify that, please.
Baba ni rafiki yangu zaidi ya miaka 15. Miaka 17 actually. Hata nikimpigia simu awe sema Sudi, amsema kijana yangu.
And to entice the rift into his following, Gachagua dropped the bombshell.
Si mimi nilisimama na huyu rais. Siku watu wengine walikuwa na rega. Mliona mimi hamkuniona. Mliniona hamkuniona. Kwa hivyo nyinyi mkiona mtu mwingine anaingilia mimi naambia wewe ukwende. Mtamwambia ile mtu mlijua. Muliona akisimama na rais wakati ya shida ni Rigiji.
And out of politics a bit, let us sneak into a classroom as I pick CS Alice Wahome to repeat this word after me. Kindly CS, repeat the word Rigiji. Ligiji. Again, Ligiji. Davis Karani, GBS political satire in the political arena.
Sisi wanasiasa ni kama shetani.
Kenya Airways has today announced a historic profit after tax of 513 million for the 6 months ending June 30th, 2024. The airline noted reduced exposures from foreign currency fluctuations and loan restructuring by the state helped grow its revenue. Likewise, improved cargo and passenger businesses resulted in the net profit. This represents a 102% rise compared to the 21.7 billion loss reported during the same period last year. Here's that story and more in business.
Million Kenyan shillings in net profit, helped by reduced exposures from foreign currency fluctuations and the restructuring of its loans by the state. This is a rebound of up 102%. From the 21.7 billion Kenyan shillings loss that the airline posted in a similar period last year. In the 6 months to June 30th this year, the airline's total income rose by 22% year-on-year to 91.49 billion Kenyan shillings on renewed passenger demand and operational efficiency. Total operating costs decreased by 22% to 90.20 billion Kenyan shillings, contributing to a 30% increase in operating profit, which reached 1.3 billion Kenyan shillings. In other updates, Safaricom has announced a new change to its reverse call service, introducing a fee for customers who use the service more than twice in a single day. The telco revised the terms and conditions for the popular service, which previously allowed unlimited free reverse calls. According to the new terms, customers will still enjoy the service free of charge for the first 2 reverse calls requested within a day. However, a fee of 50 cents will be applied for any subsequent reverse call attempts on the same day. This charge is aimed at curbing the misuse of the service, as Safaricom noted that some users opt for the reverse calls even when they have sufficient airtime. Safaricom first introduced the reverse call feature in June 2019 as an addition to its Please Call Me service. The feature was designed to help the company's over 31 million customers by allowing them to transfer the cost of the call to the receiver. Hilary Kabila, GBS News, Nairobi.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. On that note, let us take our very first break. We'll be right back.
What is sexual and gender-based violence? Conversations do you have with them and be able to pick out these things that are happening in regards to sexual harassment in working place? Who fights for the disabled people when they are going through this sexual and gender-based violence? How do we protect these women and the children together so that they are not victimized when it comes to the sexual and gender-based violence?
Another important thing during the sensitization is letting our young girls, for example, and even boys nowadays, know that it is okay to say no, and no means no. We've grown in a community where we think if a girl says no, it's actually when they are saying yes. And there has been one statement that has been really promoting the issue of sexual gender-based violence, that for any sober person listening to us today should know that sexual and gender-based violence has no place in our society.
What are the different forms of the gender-based violence? And when these things are happening, if, let's say, for example, the HR is compromised, or rather, the seniors are most compromised, where do you run to when you want solid help?
Hello everyone! Welcome to Fun. Alright class, friends, do you know what we're going to make today? Yes, we're going to make a star. Now let's begin our class. Time to make. First, you're going to fold your paper into triangles. Now we are done with the star.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. You're still watching GBS News 9. Special economic zones are crucial in achieving the Kenya Kwanza government goals of job creation, youth empowerment and sustainable development in the country. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has said that the government was committed to creating an environment that encourages investment and job creation among the youths. He spoke during a tour of Tatu City, Kenya's first operational special economic zone, where he emphasized the importance of says projects like Tatu City were crucial in achieving the government's goals of job creation, youth empowerment and sustainable development. During the tour, Mudavadi met with the executive management team at Tatu City, led by Stephen Jennings, founder and chief executive officer of Endeavour, and held discussion on how Tatu City was driving Kenya's economic transformation. Tatu City is one of Kenya's first operational special economic zones. It offers a range of incentives to attract investors that include reduced corporate taxes, zero-rated VAT, and import duty exemptions. So far, over 60 companies have established a presence within Tatu City. These businesses represent more than $1 billion investments. This level of investment highlights the city's growing importance in Kenya's economic landscape.
Nothing straight, nothing square. Because we are a road contractor, we put a huge amount of emphasis into the quality, and we aim for just world class.
The area occupying here, it is more than 100,000, that is square meters. At the moment, we have got a total number of 600 employees, and we are still hiring.
Now, what are they producing?
他想知道我们在这里生产什么东西。
我们生产是医生用的那个手术衣，这是生产手术衣跟那个隔离衣。
So what we are doing at the moment, we are doing the production of that is a doctor's surgical gowns, and also maybe lap sponges and scrub suits. Yes.
靠这边的是我们那个生产线，是半成品生产线。 后面是我们的组装生产线。
Okay, so this is that workshop number 2, and then on the other side we have got that is the packaging section. That is workshop number 3. We have phase 2. We have got phase 2, which is 3 to 4 kilometers away from here. We have just started construction. Right now we are doing the foundation work. Our plan is to complete the project section of phase 2 in the next 4 to 6 months, and then we'll do another section 2 of phase 2 again. So we'll do phase 2 in 2 acres. 55 acres. 55 acres. 5 times this size. Okay. It will provide massive employment opportunities for our people. 7,000 people. That is the plan as said by Mr. Stephen Jennings.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
At the moment here, our plan is to do 1,500 employees. We are currently sitting at 600, which means we are very soon we'll get like the 700 more. Okay. And the local people will benefit because of this massive project here.
Transmara Sub-County Level 4 Hospital has elevated healthcare services with the installation of a new oxygen plant capable of producing up to 600 liters of oxygen continuously over 24 hours. Dr. Samuel Misoi, a medical superintendent in Transmara Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, announced that the hospital now has new facilities, including an oxygen plant capable of generating up to 600 liters of oxygen in 24 hours. Meanwhile, 400 youths from Nyandarua County have accomplished a 4-month training program on various courses that will equip them with the skills to start income-generating ventures in the area. The program is being implemented by the National Government Affirmative Action Fund via the Equity Group's INET program and in collaboration with the Kenya Methodist University and Nyandarua National Polytechnic, where else the Council of Governors Health Committee Chairman and the Rakanithi Governor Muthomi Njuki has called on devolved units to remain vigilant on the risk of mpox disease, saying counties were working closely with the national government to contain the disease. Here is more on the same.
The oxygen is collected from the surrounding through this hood.
Dr. Misoi highlighted that the hospital pumping system has been done, ensuring that every bed, both in the wards and the theatre, has direct access to this vital resource.
We have an oxygen plant which can generate up to 600 liters in 24 hours. We have also done the piping of the hospital. Every bed has been piped and has access to oxygen.
Dr. Misoi elaborated on the comprehensive services the hospital now offers, all available 24 hours a day. These include a fully equipped theatre, an operational casualty section, a well-equipped laboratory, radiology services, and a pharmacy stocked with ample supply of medications. Evelyn Sipora, the nursing officer in charge of the Transmar Sub-County Level 4 Hospital, echoed Dr. Misoi's sentiment, noting that the new oxygen plant has greatly alleviated the challenges they previously faced.
My name's Evelyn Siparo, nursing officer in charge, Transmara West Sub-County Hospital. This is our oxygen plant. Oxygen plant machine. Since for about 3 months now, our hospital has gained a lot and our patients have been relieved from the problem of lack of oxygen.
Peter Kilel, a biomedical engineer, explained that the oxygen plant can produce 60 cylinders in 24 hours, equating to 1 cylinder every 40 minutes.
This is an automated oxygen generating plant which has been fully installed, ready to go.
Meanwhile, speaking during a fete to award beneficiaries with certificate of accomplishment in Olkalau town, the MP underscored the need for young people to embrace technical courses, saying they will serve them better in being job creators and not job seekers.
Today in Nyandarua County, we have 2,500 employees. We are using 2.2 billion of our revenue to pay for wages and salary. So, ni vizuri kuambia ukweli, we have reached the apex of employment at county level.
The program dubbed GovInet, seeking to equip young people with essential skills in entrepreneurship, e-commerce, and trading, with the ultimate goal of transitioning them into successful entrepreneurs and active contributors to the local economy. Ms. Gitau highlighted the program's transformative potential, saying that it will transform the youth future.
Nawashukuru sana mimi kama mama county na patron wenu, mama wenu. Nataka kuhakikishia mimi nitawashika mkono, nitasimama na nyinyi. Wale ambao watalete hizo proposals kwa ofisi yangu, tutaanza hapo chini na tutaendelea juu.
The GovInet program specifically targets young people who are not in the education sector, employment or training, providing them with the tools and knowledge necessary to start and grow their own businesses. Whereas the Council of Governors, Health Committee Chairman and the Rakanithi Governor Muthomi Njuki has called on devolved units to remain vigilant on the risk of mpox disease. He spoke during the dedication of PCEA in Kio in Chuka. According to the Governor Njuki, there is an establishment reporting system that is being used to monitor the disease and its possible spread.
Bwana moderator, katika Kenya saa hii kuna ugonjwa ambaye imepatikana. Hii ugonjwa zamani sana hapa tulikuwa tunaita kidhuku. Mwisho kidhuku. Itakuwa smallpox. Lakini saa hii imepatikana ingine iko na nguvu kuliko smallpox. Inatoka kwa wanyama. Hii ugonjwa ni hatari sana. Kwa sababu katika watu 100 wale wanaipata 6 ama 10 wataenda.
Mpox is caused by the monkeypox virus, a cousin of the virus that causes smallpox. It was first identified in humans in the Democratic Republic of Congo in 1970. The viral infection is transmitted through close contacts and causes flu-like symptoms and pus-filled lesions. The disease has historically been confined to Central and West Africa, but the recent outbreak in non-endemic countries, including Kenya, have heightened the need for public awareness and preparedness. So far, Kisii and Kiambu counties have reported suspected cases that are at the testing stage. Periskego, GBS News.
Many thanks for joining this live broadcast. We have a lot lined up for you in our news segment tonight, but first let us take a quick commercial break.
So through the 4 gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth.
그리고 우리가 느끼는 그 예수님을 성경을 통해 느낄 수 있어서 너무 감사합니다.
And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our sins.
지셨고,
he carried our sins.
십자가에 못 박혀 죽어 죄의 형벌을 당하셨고,
and he was crucified and he received the punishment for sins.
무덤에 들어가셨다가,
and he was put into the tomb.
사흘 만에 부활하셨습니다.
and resurrected in 3 days.
이것이 우리가 말하는 복음입니다.
This is the gospel that we speak.
예수님께 우리 죄를 위해 죽으신 이야기.
About how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being crucified.
우리 죄를 담당하기 위하여 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으셨습니다.
He was crucified to pay for our sins.
예수 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으심으로 우리 죄가 분명히 씻어졌는데.
And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean.
참 안타깝게도 많은 사람은 여전히 죄인이라고 말합니다.
However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
Today we have amazing topic. Hey, turning passion into profit. Sijui passion yako ni gani? We are going to have a guest here mwenye anaenda kutuambia how she turned her passion into profit.
So I learned it from my mom. I guess nilichukua from my mom. And then my mom alichukua from her mom.
Inheritance.
And then her mom mimi nimenema after the mom. My God. Wow. Kitu iko kwa damu. Sasa hiyo kitu ilinipea motivation. Like guy, kumbe naweza shona hizi nguo by the way na niuzie mtu na buy. Ni make something out of it. So hiyo ndo motivation by the way. Kwa Christmas ndo ilikuwa motivation. Mnasemanga that family don't support each other. Me my family. Nasema my family imekuwa my greatest supporter. Wow. And then my friends. Because if it's
everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the broadcast, and now to matters international news. Sudan's government has announced that it will send a delegation to Cairo on Monday for discussions with the United States and the Egyptian officials. The talks' aim is to keep open the possibility of participation in the peace negotiations intended to end the 16-month war in Sudan. The government, controlled by the army, which is fighting the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, for control of the country, had previously stated that it would not attend the US-led peace talks in Switzerland unless the Jeddah Agreement was implemented, an agreement struck earlier requiring the RSF to withdraw from all non-combat areas. Here are the details.
The US-led talks, which the Rapid Support Forces is attending, aim to end the devastating war that broke out in April 2023 and address the creeping humanitarian crisis that has left half of Sudanese population of 50 million facing food insecurity. A statement from the ruling Traditional Sovereign Council said the decision to go to Cairo came after contacts with the U.S. Special Envoy and Egyptian government, which is an observer in the talks, and was limited to discussing implementation of Jeddah Agreement, under which the rapid support forces would leave civilians areas.
شمل النقاش والتداول ضرورة الوقف الفوري للحرب.
The army on Thursday preempted a key topics of the talks when it is said it would allow rapid support forces control border crossing into Darfur to be used for aid deliveries. A senior U.S. official speaking on condition of anonymity said that the army chief Abdel Fattah had agreed the opening during a phone call with Secretary of the State Antony Blinken the day before. Periskego, GBS News.
Aid workers are raising alarms about the escalating humanitarian crisis in Sudan's Darfur region, where the ongoing conflict has led to conditions nearing famine. Reports indicate of a widespread starvation and severe malnutrition, particularly among children, who appear significantly younger than their actual age due to extreme malnutrition, according to Tamam Al-Durat from the Doctors Without Borders report. The crisis has been exacerbated by the recent violence from the Rapid Support Forces, the paramilitary group responsible for the brutal attacks, including deadly raid in Galgani that resulted in the numerous casualties. Here is more on the same.
In South Darfur, conditions are dire as the war ravages communities. Tamam Al-Audat of Doctors Without Borders described a severe starvation crisis, noting children at therapeutic feeding centers appearing much younger than their age due to extreme malnutrition.
There have been kids in the therapeutic feeding, on the ambulatory therapeutic feeding center where we receive children with malnutrition who were above 1 year old, who looked like they are 4 or 5 months old.
The Rapid Support Forces, a paramilitary group, have committed brutal attacks, including a recent raid in Galgani that resulted in dozens of deaths and many injuries. Their action are part of a broader pattern of violence since the conflict erupted in April 2023. Efforts to provide aids are hampered by damages infrastructure, including a crucial bridge collapse and ongoing violence. Despite international efforts to restart peace talks, progress remains stalled with key stakeholders missing from negotiation. The situation remains critical, with many hoping for improved access to aid and a resolution to the violence that continues to devastate the region. Reporting for GBS News, Joy Kuria.
Senegal has successfully launched its first satellite, GainsSat 1A, from California, becoming one of the only 12 African nations with a satellite in space. The launch, which took place on Friday evening using SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, marked a significant milestone for the country's technological sovereignty. President Bassirou Diomaye Faye expressed pride in his achievement, which was made possible through the collaboration of Senegalese engineers and France's Montpellier University Space Center. The satellite will collect data for various state agencies, including those dealing with water resources, civil aviation, and meteorology. President Emerson of Zimbabwe officially assumed the chairmanship of the Southern African Development Community at the 44th Ordinary Summit in Harare, where he stressed on the importance of dialogue and diplomacy for resolving regional conflicts and called for an end to sanctions against developing nations. Mnangagwa also called for an end to sanctions against developing countries and urged respect for United Nations resolutions on the Palestinian two-state solution. The summit addressed the ongoing challenges, including drought, the mpox virus outbreak, and human rights concerns in Zimbabwe, while the reaffirming a collective commitment to peace and development in Southern Africa. The handover ceremony saw the outgoing chairperson, Angolan President João Manuel, pass the leadership to Mnangagwa for AGOA received support from regional leaders.
I am confident that under your able leadership, we will witness the continuation of the collective efforts and progress that we all aspire to see in the SADC region.
It is now my honor and privilege to transfer the chairmanship, to hand over the chairmanship to my brother Emerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, the new chairperson of SADC, to come for the official handover ceremony. Thank you very much to everyone.
On behalf of the people and government of Zimbabwe, I take over the mantle of chairmanship as chairperson of SADC with humility and grace. We strongly condemn the use of sanctions and other coercive measures as a foreign political tool against developing countries. By the same token, allow me to call for the end of the conflict in Palestine and appeal for the respect of United Nations resolutions on the two-state solution. Similarly, the independence of the peoples of the West Sahrawi is long overdue.
Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, Colonel Retired.
We firmly believe in dialogue and diplomacy as the sustainable route for the resolution of any conflict or any disputes. We thus stand ready to play our part for consolidating peace, unity, security, and stability of our SADC region, and silencing the guns on our African motherland continent.
The Republic of Angola is handing over the gavel, which is one of the instruments of power which we use to make decisions.
Fally Ipupa, the renowned Congolese Rumba star, held a significant humanitarian concert titled A Candle for Each Life Unjustly Snatched in Goma, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Recently, the event aimed to provide support and comfort for victims of the ongoing conflict in the region, which has led to a severe humanitarian crisis characterized by violence and displacement. Here is more on the same.
Fally Ipupa's concert drew thousands of fans in Goma, where he addressed the audience with a heartfelt message. Our thoughts are with our brothers, our mothers, our children who are being raped, massacred everywhere. Here we are together, he said, underscoring the urgency of the crisis.
Penser aussi à toutes nos frères, nos mamans, nos enfants qui se font violer, massacrer partout. Ici, on est ensemble.
The concert, themed A Candle of Each Life Unjustly Snatched, was organized to unite the community and shed light on the harsh realities faced by displaced people. Although the initial event was a success, the second performance was cancelled due to security concern, disappointing some fans. Organizers highlighted the significance of the concert in drawing global attention to Goma's struggles. Francis Kaboya noted, the people are proving their reliance, send it out a great message to the whole world. Goma needs to live, Goma needs to breathe. Fally Ipupa's visit came after his European tour, reflecting the impact of music in fostering peace and solidarity against ongoing conflict in the region. Reporting for GBS News, Joy Korea.
Thousands of activists marched in Chicago on Sunday, demanding a ceasefire in Gaza, same time highlighting on issues like abortion rights, among others, ahead of the Democratic National Convention. The protesters carried banners reading, and I quote, "No Harris, no Trump, we need a new party for working people." The demonstrations, organized by the coalition to march on the DNC, will continue daily from August 19th to August 22nd. Well, despite protest, Vice President Kamala Harris confirmed her support for the United States policies on the Israel-Hamas conflict. Chicago officials have implemented security measures to ensure safety while allowing free expression. Activists remain committed to their demands for policy changes regardless of the Democratic nominee's position.
We're tired. We're tired of being killed. We're tired of going to jail. We're tired of our men and women going to jail. We're tired of the police killing us. We're tired. So we are here to fight for our bodies and our hearts. And I believe that any movement guided by radical collective love is like fire. It's inextinguishable. So free Palestine and free them all. Founding of this land and the dust of this land, combined with chattel slavery, is part of the fact that.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. That international news brings us to our sports news. Let's get sporty. Kenya Police made its debut in the CAF Confederation Cup when they clashed the Ethiopia's Coffee Sports SC on Sunday, August 18th, at Nyayo National Stadium. Kenya Police played to a 0-0 draw to Ethiopia Coffee FC in their CAF Confederation Cup preliminary round first leg. Kenya Police FC will travel to Ethiopia for the second leg of the preliminary round, scheduled for Sunday, August 25th. The aggregate winner from both legs will advance to the second preliminary round of the competition. Here are the details.
Kenya Police played to a 0-0 draw to Ethiopia's Coffee FC in their CAF Confederation Cup preliminary round first leg. Kenya Police FC will travel to Ethiopia for the second leg of the preliminary round, scheduled for Sunday, August 25th, 2024. The aggregate winner of this two-legged tie will face defending champions Egyptian powerhouse Zamalek SC in the second preliminary round.
Okay, thanks. Today's game is tough game. Kenya Police tactically discipline. Ethiopia Coffee, team tactic, discipline, more. Next game, home, beach advantage. How will we get next game results? I hope. Thank you.
I think we created enough opportunities to at least give us a win playing at home. We were not able to utilize the chances that we've created, but we know it's not over. We still have another 90 minutes to go in Ethiopia in about a week's time, and I'm pretty sure we'll rectify all the mistakes that we made in today's match. We lacked the cutting edge. That final touch into the net is what was lacking today, and that's exactly what we'll be working on heading into this particular week's training.
Reporting for GBS TV, I am John Kinyanjui.
Veteran Griffin Rigare is the LG's Jack Sports Personality of the Month for July 2024. This is after inspiring Nairobi City Thunder to their first ever Kenya Basketball Federation Men's Premier League title in the 2023-2024 season. Following the victory, Thunder will represent Kenya at the Basketball Africa League qualifiers later this year. Here is more on the same.
At 39 years, Captain Ligare led by example with impressive performances as they struck the University of Nairobi 3-0 in the quarterfinals, Equity Dumas 3-0 in the semi-finals, and 2023 winners Kenya Ports Authority 3-0 in the final. This was Ligare's first time to win the Premier League since joining Thunder in 2009 from Kenyatta University's Pirates. His remarkable contribution in the playoffs earned him the Most Valuable Player title. Ligare is not an unfamiliar face in the Kenyan basketball scene. Ligare has captained the national team Kenya Morans in the past and has represented the country in 49 international matches. The point guard is also a first-time recipient of the Sports Personality of the Month recognition. Will motivate Ligare to continue making history for Nairobi City Thunder and Kenya internationally. To land the award, Ligare, a sports scientist and physical education teacher, garnered the most votes from the Sports Personality of the Month selection panel. Reporting for GBS TV, I am John Kinyanjui.
And that sports news brings us to the end of our news segment tonight. As always, here at GBS News 9, we make your news our business. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenge. Good night.